Okay, after you've done that, you want to take your sponge or an applicator, an eyeshadow applicator, and you want to burnish, but sideways. That way you don't get underneath your tape. Hey there, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Paola of PaolaPonceNails.com, and I help nail pros and enthusiasts, perhaps like yourself, create thriving businesses as specialized gel nail stylists. If you would like to continue growing with me, then do consider subscribing to this channel and also my weekly newsletter where I make invites to special events seen nowhere else. The link for that is in the description box below. I'm gonna be working at about at least half of the RPM of my e-file. And in one direction, I'm gonna go ahead and prep this nail just to ensure that I get the best adhesion, ever so gently, just creating a little bit of texture. Go ahead and take this board file around the cuticle area, which is where I would most likely have a lot of dry skin, or if my stone didn't get it, I can get it now. Make sure that when you prep the nail with a board file that you're just going up and down ever so gently, letting the grit of the file do the work so that you do not shred or thin down the nail. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply the Sweet Tea base onto my nails. And I'm gonna do one layer, generously thin, and then cure it. This allows me to have great adhesion and retention on my nails, and especially on this length nails. Since it's my thumb and it turns as I cure my hand fully, I'm gonna go ahead and just cure this on its own, and I'm just gonna help it self-level a tiny bit here. I'm gonna come back and do a little bit more self-leveling, but I wanted to get a head start right now. This is a full cure, 30 seconds in your Kokoist unit, or if you're using a different unit, do 60 seconds. And now it is time to apply your structuring layer. Remember that with your tinted builder, you don't want to go super thick, at least not in one coat, for a couple reasons. The product will not cure properly because of the tint, the color, right? And number two, you or your client may experience a high heat spike. So do not apply super thick in one go. So if you want to get a little higher with your apex, do so with just a little bit of product. But if you have longer nails and you want more strength, then you are going to have to apply this, or apply another layer to this. Once it's perfectly self-leveled, because that's what we want. Remember, in my last video I mentioned that I like to work with a tinted bottled builder, or it can be just a tinted builder, it can be in a pot, because I have my color in here and it works wonderfully with chrome because chrome will accent any little nook or cranny or imperfection, and every time you apply a layer you run the risk of misapplying, right? Whether it's with your base gel or with your color gel. But when you're working with your chrome, it has to be smooth perfectly, and so this allows us to get there quicker. Okay, so once I'm happy, I'm going to go ahead and cure this. So I'm going to continue on my other two fingers. Now, one of the reasons why I like to apply a coat of gel first and cure like generously thin like we did here is because that first layer also works like an insulation layer, keeping me from getting a heat spike. So there's a couple ways to avoid a heat spike as you're removing gel with your e-file, or if you are doing e-file cuticle prep. Any type of e-file work on the nail is going to cause mechanical heat, like mechanical friction. So because the bit is rotating in by thousands of RPMs, that rotational speed is creating friction on the nail plate. So that bit rotating so fast, and so it warms up the nail bed and the nail plate. And so when the nails go in the lamp, after you've used your e-file on them and you've warmed up the nail beds, maybe by using your e-file a bunch, and then you cure that gel, then you're going to experience a higher heat spike because it's like warm of the nail plate with warm curing heat. So that's why you feel a lot of heat. So when you place a thin coat of gel, as I did already, and I cured that, then that's an insulation layer. And so this layer that we're going to build now with our structure gel, it's not going to feel super hot. Okay, if you did, that means that again, those nail beds may be still warm from that e-file. Okay, so I'm just allowing it to self-level nicely all by itself and just guiding it, because gel likes to be given instructions. Wherever you tell it to move, that's where it's gonna go. So if I put my brush there like I just did, I just gave that gel some instruction. I told it where to go. Gonna let it self-level, and once I'm happy with it, I'm gonna go ahead and cure. Okay, so here's what we're going to be doing next. I'm going to take my current favorite burnishing top gel, which is from the nail Korea Clear. It's a little bit of a clear builder gel, but it's great for burnishing. So I'm going to apply this generously thin, and I'm going to go ahead and cure for about 20-30 seconds. Now we're gonna do something super cool. No, it's not what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, okay, she's gonna do the striping tape and do this and do that. While you're waiting for spring to kick off, I wanted to let you know about something that just kicked off. Our Kokoist online certification enrollment has officially opened, and it will close very soon, March 21st, if I'm correct. So if you want to gift yourself a moment of focus to know and understand the Kokoist brand in detail so that you can maximize its use, so you're not buying this thing and that thing and all of the things, right? Kokoist has a product for your every need. So if you're interested in this investment, check out the description box below for the link to enroll into my online Kokoist certification. If you missed this season, or you want to prepare for the next season with a time and financial investment budget, then just sign up to the waitlist. Now to today's video. First of all, striping tape was one of my most requested things to do in nails, and it was also my personal favorite. And I know this one is like super pretty also, but that's actually not what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to be using this to block a little area in my nail, like so. And like so. You probably shouldn't be using your expensive nippers, so just use scissors. I'm just gonna grab it with my nippers and place it down here. All right, I hope you're excited because you're probably like, what are we doing here? So here, I'm gonna give you a little sneak peek, as you've already seen, of what we're doing, because these nails are actually already done. Here we are, done. So we are just using the tape as a guide because I want to create some negative space with the chrome powder. Now it is important to try to get in the crevice here of your nail like so, and like so. Just stay with me, promise it'll be fun. All right, looks good. Perfect. So now that we put our burnishing coat, we put our striping tape, I want to take my Aurora pink. I think we're doing Aurora green actually. So these chrome pens have been upgraded by Kokoist to be dual-sided, and so you'll get two colors. We're gonna be doing the Aurora green. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and press it all on the nail. I'm gonna start with the sticker portion so I can continue pressing it down. And then I'm just gonna take it down like this, press it up here. And that's about it. Okay, I'm gonna do this again. And like so. And grab a little bit more. Start at the tape area so that you press it down and you don't have any powder seeping underneath the tape. Okay, after you've done that, you want to take your sponge or an applicator, an eyeshadow applicator, and you want to burnish, but sideways. That way you don't get underneath your tape. Okay, now I'm going to go to the next one. Do it sideways first so that we don't get any excess underneath our tape. And then you can burnish this way. You can do this with any chrome pigment that you wish. Same thing, burnish sideways. Okay, and really get it off of the edge or burnish it into the edge. And this will prevent chipping. Okay, here we are. So all we do now is peel, like so. Okay, and that's just the minimalist kind of art that I'm into. You can definitely use different colors and make it even more stunning. Now I am going to take it a step further so that I don't bore you with this lesson, right? It was very easy, simple. Okay, so now I want to go ahead and upgrade this design. And the upgrade is actually very simple, very easy, and I think, you know, a little profitable for the amount of time that this is going to take you. So at this point, I've added my non-wipe top gel. I could just put oil on my skin and nails, which desperately needed, as you can see, and move on. Sorry, that was the lid of that. But if you wanted to upgrade this design, you could. Just, you know, to make an extra $10, $15, whatever it may be. So I'm gonna go ahead and add actually crystals on top of the nails here. Just to add a little accent. You can do 1 or you can do 3. Totally up to you and your client. Also, I'm curious, would you like to know how I went ahead or charged for my crystals at the salon? Let me know in the comments. Maybe you can say, yes, crystals pricing, and then I'll maybe put together like some sort of like chart or something, just so you know how I used to charge for my crystals, and I actually felt very comfortable doing it that way. So right now I want to introduce you to these gels here that are non-wipe and are also for affixing embellishments. I have here Kokoist non-wipe accessory bond, the Leaf Gel Premium fixing gel with a lilac bowl, so this is a little bit more thin. And then we have Achimitsu by Vetro. Either one of these will work. I'm gonna do what I do more often, which is non-wipe accessory bond, but if you're in this ecosystem, then go ahead and use one of these. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab my detailer brush, and I'm gonna be doing the Aurora, I think it's the Aurora Borealis Swarovski crystals. I'll link you to my favorite embellishment source down in the description box below. This is non-wipe. My top coat is still kind of warm, and it's only been cured for 30 seconds. So I'm gonna bet that this is still going to attach to my gel, okay? Now, if you were unsure, you could just go ahead and buff the area just ever so gently, like right there with a little sponge buffer to create a little texture for better adhesion. But because it's fresh off of the lamp, I am just going to pray that it works. And it's my nails, and so I do believe it's gonna last a long time. By what I mean like pray that it works is that usually gel doesn't like to stick on shiny, so that may be an issue. But again, because the nails are still warm and they've only been cured for 30 seconds, I think this top coat has a little bit more time to cure at 60 seconds. So can you see there? I'm just adding a little bit of the product right there. And then I'm gonna press my crystals in. What's really cool about this gel is that it stays in place. Okay. Stays in place, and it's also non-wipe. So once I'm done putting my embellishments on, I am sincerely done. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my wax tool. This is just a little wax pen that I use. Again, I'll link you to everything in the description below. And I'm gonna do this size, which is like a medium size. You'll see in a moment. On all, and then I'm gonna do 2 little tiny ones on each side. I'm not gonna fixate on arranging them right now. I'm just gonna set them down and go from there. Okay, like so. And as you can see, you could just leave it like that. Obviously, if you use less gel. But I mean, it just adds a cute little accent, and I'd probably charge like $3 per crystal. It's not the crystal that I'm just charging for. I'm also charging for the labor, right? The time to put these down. But yeah, I had a whole little chart or system about how I went about charging for my crystals, because here's the truth. I want my clients to get this stuff. I don't want it to sit in my drawers. I didn't buy it to have it sitting in my drawers because I want to be uppity about how I want to charge for these, right? I'm all about making money, but I'm also about being wise to get things moving in your studio. Sometimes things just sit there for way too long. I'm gonna go ahead and grab tiny ones, little teeny tiny ones. Same kind of crystal. Press it in there. All right. I think that looks super cute. I'm such a little princess sometimes when it comes to these types of embellishments. I don't seem to be able to outgrow them. Is that the right one? I don't know. I can't tell. No, I think this is like the white one. And I changed my mind. I'm actually going to add a couple side ones here. Same pattern. Yep. Now this looks all really cute and quaint. I'm going to cure and photograph for you. And that's how I would go ahead and take that other simple design and just bring it up a notch. Thank you for watching. If you loved today's video, can you do me a favor and give it a thumbs up to boost it up in the algorithm so that I may help more people? And if you need a little more direction in your nail career, I want to encourage you to join my free masterclass using the link in the description box below. It is available for you to watch immediately for free right now after signing up.